1992 we made this film for Ford Motorsport, but it's never been seen on video before, so this is the first chance to see it anywhere.
Kielder Forest in northeast England, and the Ford Rally team is here for some pre-RAC Rally tyre testing.
Can you lock it there, Kurt?
A chance also for the works mechanics to show that the mechanic's travelling life is perhaps not quite as glamorous as some might imagine.
Yeah. Rear left suction bolts hanging out, mate.
Well, it's a dirty job, but someone has to do it. The object of the exercise here is purely sorting out tyres for the RAC Rally. As a result, Michelin's technicians will discuss compounds and durabilities with Ford's chief motorsport engineer Philip Donovan, and obviously get the views of driver Malcolm Wilson. As well as being the pilot for this particular test, Malcolm is also pleased to have the second work Sierra Cosworth lined up for the RAC Rally. Aren't you, Malcolm? There seem to be an awful lot of people who think that being a works rally mechanic is an easy life, visiting glamorous locations all the time, travelling and generally enjoying yourself. But honestly, who would actually choose to do this sort of thing as a living? Ford Motorsport have found the support of Michelin invaluable this season. Michelin themselves have been totally committed to the cause, not only to the development of tyres for the 1992 cars, but obviously with the future in mind, the Escort Cosworth. This two-day test in killer Kielder followed on immediately from a three-day outing in mid-Wales, and Michelin have brought a huge selection of different tyres for the team to evaluate. This process is repeated for every single rally in the World Championship season, so that when the teams start each event, they know which tyres to use to suit the different conditions they'll encounter. At a test like this, the mechanics merely have to keep the car running, while the tyre technicians will continuously be mounting different tyres to bolt onto the car. It's odd to think that this small group of vehicles and personnel can prepare for World Championship events. There's one other person present who's an integral and very important part of Ford's motorsport team. On the left here with Malcolm Wilson, he's Dr. Mark Porter, who's not only responsible for the health and well-being of the team members, but also prepares their special diets. It must be very reassuring for the team to have its own doctor. Our production assistant certainly found out how good his stage-side manner is after being hit in the eye by a rock while shooting the final scene in this film. Meanwhile, it's time for Malcolm to take the Sierra out for another run. And a chance for the mechanics to get a few minutes of well-earned rest. Each run will consist of something like 6 passes of a 2-mile stage, 3 times in each direction. And it's after that that the performance of the tyres can be checked. In his role as co-driver, team engineer Philip Donovan can not only feel for himself the way the car handles, but is better able to interpret the views of the driver. As you can imagine, though, it's not a job for the faint-hearted, though Philip himself seems mildly unconcerned. This test, of course, is not only useful for Michelin and Ford, but also for Malcolm Wilson, giving him the opportunity to keep in touch with developments of the car. But perhaps more importantly, with the RAC Rally coming along, it ensures he retains his competitive edge, an edge he'll need if he's to succeed in his bid to become the first British driver to win the RAC since 1976. And now, while the mechanics have a few minutes rest, it's time for Malcolm to do some work.